All right, good afternoon, everybody. I'm going to try and keep this video to under 5 minutes, so I may talk kind of fast, but that's just because I know that you guys hate to watch anything more than 5 minutes. So with that in mind, I want to show you guys how to take your rough draft of a poem and start working on it to try to get the patterns that we were talking about in the way that you're segmenting out the phrases in each line so that you have a pattern of syllables. So line 1 and line 2 are supposed to be 3, 4, 4, 4, and then the last one is supposed to be 3, 4, 5, 3, or 3, 5, 4, 3. Your choice. All right. So I'm borrowing Deja's for Second Periods poem. This is one of the 3 poems that she submitted for her Sijo trio, and I want to give her some feedback. So I like to give people some suggestions. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to work on editing one of the lines of her poetry. So she already has in line 2 here a little list that she's already started working on here. So that's the one I think I'm going to focus on with her, rather than trying to get complicated with the first one or the last one. So you can see she's writing about how COVID-19 has changed her life for the better. So the first thing I'm going to do is take out the things that we're not working on. So we're not working on line 1 or line 3. We're only working on line 2. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and I'm going to make on my syllable counter here each one of the pieces of this sentence, the part after the punctuation, a separate line. So that way, when I push the button that says count syllables, I get, I can see down here if I meet my pattern. So I can see it says 636. And my goal is to be at a 3444. All right. But that information is very important because it tells me that this phrase right here is already 3 syllables and doesn't really need any work. It does, however, need to be moved. It needs to be moved to the beginning of the sentence. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just move it to the top of the list there, so that it's where it needs to be. And because the word to doesn't really make sense at the beginning of the sentence, I'm going to say from, because that makes a little bit more sense. So I'm just going to make a little alter there. The next thing that I notice here is that the word opportunities is actually 5 syllables. That's a lot of syllables, and it's more than what we need up there. So what I would suggest to her is to see if she could find another word that means the same thing. All right. So she's saying the same thing, but she's just saying it in a different way. So I would send her over to the visual thesaurus and have her look up the word opportunities. All right. And of course, my trial has ended. So hold on a second. I'm going to pause you guys and fix this and reset it. All right, I got it reset. So now what I'm going to do is look up the word opportunity and see what kind of things we get. So in this case, we have 2 words. We have opportune and the word chance. So opportune is still a big word, and probably doesn't quite fit in there, but chance does. So I would tell her to use that word chance, and in her poem, go ahead and change the word opportunity to chances. All right. And when she hits her syllable count here again, she is going to learn that new chances is actually a little too short. So now it's 3 syllables instead of 4. So I would suggest maybe she consider moving that to the end of the sentence and adding the word and in. Let's fix that punctuation there. All right. So that it says and new chances as the end of the list. Okay. So that way it seems to flow properly, and will fit in there. So the next thing she's going to need to do is fix this piece here. And I've already done it and looked it up. And I suggested to her that the phrase mindset, because it means the same thing as mentality, would work. So now when she does her syllable count, she has the exact same meaning in the line here, but she's already starting to follow that pattern. She just needs to add in one more phrase here one more thing that she feels is a positive, maybe family time, game nights, something positive that she experienced due to the pandemic, into this list to fix it. So I actually have the list kind of put out here for her. So I don't have it quite phrased the same way it is on the other page there. But here's what happens when her poem now has all of that put in as a sentence instead of the way it was before. So now the line says, from new friends and new chances, family time, a fresh mindset. All right. That gives us a nice list of all the things that she really enjoys. So when she gets to the end with her twist, she's like, all of these things are great, but there's this one thing that just ruins all of it. All right. And that's her twist. So now she's just going to need to go back in, figure out how she wants to phrase this, if she likes this way, if she wants to change things up here a little bit. I'm probably actually going to give it to her with one of these missing out so that I can tell her, now just find another phrase that's 4 syllables and plop that in there to fix that line. And then go back and start editing out these other 2 lines to follow the same kind of pattern, and she'll be perfect.